Good morning. Welcome from very wet, rainy San Antonio. Not a very typical thing for us. Today, we're going to look at the Neptune Society. Before we get started, a little housekeeping. This presentation is from the San Antonio Coalition of Veterans and Families. Our mission, the immediate assistance for homeless veterans. Please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It means a great deal to us. Our guest speaker today, we're very fortunate. We have Carla Friday. She's a certified pre-arrangement counselor, and we're going to ask her more about what that means. A disclaimer, we're not here to endorse any products or one specific service over another. Uh, we try to bring this for educational reasons. We want people to use their due diligence in researching products and services. As I mentioned before, Carla's a certified pre-arrangement counselor, and I have on the screen what a definition of that is. And I have to admit, I had never heard the term before I had talked to Carla. Mission, this is right off their website. And again, Carla will talk more about this. And their locations in San Antonio. And finally, a website where you can look at the San Antonio site for the Neptune Society. Okay, so without further ado, good morning.
Good morning.
Carl, I can't help but start and ask, how did you get into this? This isn't the kind of thing that the typical high school kids thinks and say, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So
You're right.
how did you get into this?
Well, you're absolutely right. I did not grow up as a little girl wanting to work in the cremation industry. This was not my idea of a dream job. Actually worked in healthcare for about 20 years, mostly women's healthcare. I have a wonderful husband, and he worked in surgery. And one day, he lifted a heavy patient, injured his neck. Nothing serious. Went to a chiropractor. Chiropractor put him on a table, did an adjustment and adjusted too hard, and ended up leaving my husband bedridden and disabled.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah. So that was the start of our journey. Our journey continued with many, many more surgeries. And one of those surgeries leading to a really bad infection that left him hospitalized, and having a conversation with the doctors that basically started with, he did a great job. He was really strong. He, is quite a fighter, but he's probably not going to make it to the weekend.
Oh my,
Um,
okay. That's
so that was probably one of the most difficult conversations I've ever had. And it really led to needing to make some quick decisions and some uncomfortable conversations and so forth. And I, no brainer, I picked Neptune Society. My in laws had Neptune Society. I picked it, got the plan in place, and was very blessed and fortunate that my husband survived. So,
oh, okay. That's wonderful, obviously.
an odd way to get here, but I've been doing this now for 8 years, and I love helping families.
And and that brings us to the next question. We've read the intro, but what do you do on a
Okay.
daily basis? Yeah.
So I am actually licensed through the state of Texas. And what I do is I help families put something into place so that when they pass away, it is a simple phone call to make, and we take care of everything that you've already discussed, decided to have done, and we implement that for your family.
Okay.
Pretty
Um,
basic.
that actually is, and as you get older, here I am. The need to pre-plan and have things in order to stop chaos from when someone dies makes sense. The Neptune Society, what are the services that they provide, which I realize is also you, but what that are provided.
So, in pre-planning, which is what I do, we're responsible for helping educate people on why pre-planning is important. It's also we help get everybody legally get all of the paperwork done and taken care of. After the death occurs, that's where we really shine. That's where we come in, and once that call is made, we come and pick up the person, bring the body into our care, do all of the horrible stuff that your family is just not really comfortable or familiar with, like the paperwork, the permits, notifying Social Security, notifying the VA, working with the VA if you plan to use your veterans benefits. We include everything in our plan so that your family isn't having to pay out of pocket extra expenses at the time of your passing. Once we get everything done and taken care of, we get the remains back to your family.
Okay. Now, that sounds great, first of all, and must be a great relief to many people to have that in order and know that things that might be hard for them to deal with are taken care of. How do you interact? San Antonio is a big city for, uh, first of all, military veterans and also for using the National Cemetery. So, do you interact with them also?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we provide. That's why we're actually one of the preferred providers for the VA, the VFW, American Legion, and so forth. We do work very closely with them. When somebody passes away, we do notify the VA if somebody is planning to go either to Fort Sam or any other facility that they qualify for.
So let's say we have a watcher in the future who sees this and they're in the very early stages and they're just starting to think about this whole process. If they contact someone like you or you, are they committed? Do you sort of open the door and open their eyes as a starting point? How's it work?
I like that, opening the door and opening their eyes, because that's probably the number one or the biggest part of my job is actually going around San Antonio and the surrounding areas. And I give presentations so that I can educate people on not only cremation, traditional burial, pre-planning is probably the most important thing I educate everybody on. And my job is just to kind of be that resource to help you understand everything, whether it's our company, another company, traditional burial, cremation. I'm that resource that kind of helps you get started and know what to ask when you do talk to another company.
I've got to imagine you've talked to a lot of people, probably a lot of people just this week. What's the biggest obstacle from the people asking you questions? Where are they stuck? What hurdles do they have to get over?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Every family is very unique. I would say probably one of the unique challenges here in San Antonio is just being able to overcome the idea of cremation itself. We're in San Antonio, and this community has done traditional burial for many, many years, and it's a wonderful thing. We have fantastic companies out here that can take care of those services, but a lot of people want to have cremation. They're curious about cremation, and then it just becomes the idea of actually overcoming that idea and hurdle that it's okay to have cremation, and their families are going to be okay with it. Um, but I would say our biggest tool is the fact that we're so much less expensive than a traditional burial.
And and I'm not sure of this. People can have cremated remains buried in a
Yes.
traditional plot. I think that's a big misconception for some people. Interesting. What should people consider going into this process, the process of like pre-planning?
For me, I consider it a gift. I really would like people to understand that what you're really doing here is you're giving a gift to your family. Um, Most of our families, when we talk about these things, they don't want to discuss it. If you talk to your family, they're going to be like, no, that's okay. I know what to do and I know what you want and what we'll do and what will you take care of it. This is a gift that's pre-planning as a gift to your family to make sure that this is something that they don't have to do. Will they do it? Absolutely. But it's not the kind of burden that we should want to leave for our children to have to take care of.
That's a good thought. Yeah, you're so right on that. Any other thoughts that people should know going in?
Um, I guess a big thing for me is I like people to know that it's okay to come and reach out to us. We're here to help you and educate you and guide you. We're not here to twist arms. That's, I think, a big thing a lot of people are
Mhm.
concerned about. We're here to help and guide you through the process, not to make anyone feel uncomfortable or if I have people that are uncomfortable working with me, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm supposed to help guide you through this so that when you walk away in the end, you should be able to just kind of take that big sigh of relief that it's all done and taken care of.
That's wonderful. And you're right. I hadn't thought of it that way. Any other closing thoughts?
No, we just appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. And thank you so much.
So I have to comment to anybody listening. I've gone to hear one of Carla's presentations, which is how we got the start on this. It is very helpful. It will provoke a lot of thinking for the future. So thank you so much, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.